Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, would appreciate if you could turn on your videos. Jalaluddin. Jalaluddin is our new member, right?
Yeah, he came as guest last week.
That's great. That's great. Toastmaster Heba, are you with us? We would like to start the meeting. Toastmaster Heba? Maybe she's away. Since we are on Zoom, so Toastmaster Velaram, good to have you back after a very long time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Imran. See you all.
Same here. Please approach to Toastmaster Heba Raisan. Okay, just
Sorry, I was away. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening and welcome to another exciting meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Today we are online due to weather conditions, so we thought that we should be online today. With that, we will going to follow a few ground rules. First of all, that we encourage not to talk about on three topics. First one is politics, second one is religion, and third one is sex. I would request everyone to turn on your videos and mute your mics unless you are asked to do so. With that, it's time for me to hand over the charge to the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club. She is a very dedicated Toastmaster and served the club in different excom position, now serving as a president. So please give her a big round of applause. Please welcome Toastmaster Heba Raisan. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, TM Imran, for the introduction. I think I'll skip the intro. Oh, okay. We have a new Toastmaster. So, fellow Toastmaster and no guests. Toastmasters is a public speaking platform where people from different walks of life come together to improve their public speaking and leadership skills. It was founded back in 1924 by Ralsei Smedley in Englewood, Colorado. And it has more than 350,000 members worldwide, located in 16,000 clubs worldwide. And it has it's a non-profit educational organization, and I think I'll skip the part where the announcements have to be made because we don't have the Vice President Education with us today. So we all know him as a very eloquent and a very thought-provoking speaker. And he always manages us to keep us, thinking, or manages us to keep us thinking about the way he speaks, or because of his speeches. He's none other than TM Muzammil Sheikh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam President. It's good to be part of today's meeting after so many days. And it's more than good to be Toastmaster of the day after so many months. So, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all and to host the meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. The theme for today's meeting is perception. And can anybody confirm that my voice is low for everyone or for Toastmaster Belram?
I think it's all right.
Toastmaster Imran, fine for you? Toastmaster Fahim, can you guys answer?
Yes, you are perfectly audible, but some glitches in your voice.
Okay, so I should continue, right? Okay. Okay, so the theme for today's meeting is perception. And if I just give the main idea of our today's theme, then it would be just it's not how it is, but how you perceive it, right? So fellow Toastmasters, oftentimes, and it must have happened with you as well, that the things come out completely different than what we had perceived and expected. So here I would like to share one of my life incidents with you all today, which would sound funny, but the moment it had happened to me, it was no less than a shot of AK-47. I still remember it was my first contest in which I was participating in my Toastmasters journey, which was the table topics and evaluation contest. So the first contest was table topics, and since it was my first time being part of the contest, so I wasn't as aware about the details and the structure of the meeting, about the guidelines and rules of the contest, how basically the contest meeting is conducted, right? Also, all the details are given to every speaker a day or two before about how the meeting will be conducted. Every rule is conveyed to every contestant. But we, mashallah, prepare at the 11th hour for the contest. So late alone, paying heed to the details given to us. So as always, I was the first speaker in the contest. Luckily or unfortunately, I don't know. But I was called on the stage and I was given a topic, and I spoke the hell on it, right? As it was table topics, no wonder. So I spoke on it, and after I went and stayed on my chair. And the moment I stayed on my chair, the Toastmaster or the speaker who was conducting the session or the contest that day announced that after my speech, 2 minutes silence will be observed. Now here I would like to ask one thing from you all. When does it happen in our life that usually a 2 minute silence or even a 1 minute silence is observed? I think it is usually done when something devastating had happened, or in the remembrance or in the morning of something that happened, right? Something very traumatic or bad. So when I heard the Toastmaster saying after my speech, 2 minute silence will be observed, I was like, was my speech that bad? Or was I that disgusting? That after my speech, silence is being observed? I mean, really. I don't know if you guys believe on this, but literally that was the first thought came in my mind after that Toastmaster said that. And I had lost all my confidence. But as you all know, subsequently when the next speakers came, so I realized, mashallah, that nothing bad happened, nothing went wrong, and it's normal. It's a rule that after every speaker done deliver their speech, 2 minute silence is observed usually. So again, it's not how it is, it's how you perceive it. So the point is this. And as you all know, Amir Khan said in Three Idiots that whenever something bad happens, just say to your heart that nothing, chachu, all is well, all is well. I think that can be the perfect example for the perception that we should perceive the things not absolutely negatively, never. We should always see the positive side. It's always, I mean, it's not something that you should make yourself fool, but it's something like if you take it negative, you put yourself in the problem, right? You consistently overthink about that, and that's it. So all is well. And as everything is well, so let's move on. And here I would like to describe the structure of our meeting. Our meeting is usually divided into 3 parts. The first one is prepared speeches part, and the second one is table topics, and the third one is evaluation. So in the first part of prepared speeches, speakers deliver their speeches based on their projects and the pathways that they have chosen. And in the table topics session, speakers are thrown some questions randomly by the table topic master, and they have to think and speak on their feet. And in the last session, which is evaluation, and which I think is the most important part, in which constructive feedback is given to every speaker and every member who participated. In that session or in that part, speaker and every aspect of the thing are evaluated by the general evaluator and his or her team. So moving on, now I would like to introduce the facilitators of our today's meeting, facilitators who will assist me in the smooth and good running of today's meeting. So first of all, I would like to invite the grammarian, Madam President, Toastmaster Hibares Khan, to please come and introduce her role.
Okay, thank you, PM Muzammil. As the fellow Toastmasters, as the grammarian, I would be making note of all the incorrect words, phrases, and basically grammar spoken by the speaker in the prepared speeches and in the table topic. And at the end of the session, I would be highlighting the correct usages and without naming the person. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Our next facilitator is my mentor, timer, Toastmaster Nana. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A very good evening. As a timer, my role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. I'm sure I'm audible and visible. Okay, so there will be different timing for different segments. For prepared speeches, if the speeches are from 5 to 7 minutes, then at 5 minutes, my virtual background turns into green. This means that the speaker has spoken to the minimum time. At 6 minutes, the virtual background turn into yellow. And at 7 minutes, the virtual background turn into red. This red color means that the speaker is left with 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, the speaker will be disqualified for voting. If the speech is from 4 to 6 minutes, then at 4 green, 5 yellow, and 6 red. For table topics, the speaker has to speak from 1 minute to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. At 1 minute, the virtual background turn into green. This means that the speaker has qualified for the minimum time. At 1.5 yellow, and at 2 minutes red. This red color means that the speaker will be left with 30 seconds. After that, the speaker will be disqualified. For speech evaluation, at 2 minutes green, 2.5 yellow, 3 minutes red. After 30 seconds, the evaluator will be disqualified from voting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Nana. Moving forward, and to add some spices in our meeting, I would now like to invite the Toastmaster of our today's meeting, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani.
Hello. And to finding a joke, I think it's just better to smile. So this is a copy from a joke from another Toastmaster from another planet. Probably, I think he's part of my status. Visited my doctor today and he told me my sugar was too high. So I came home and moved it to the lower shelf. You understood? Okay. That's why I'm not losing weight. Then another one. A friend is telling, yes, I am. But you just had 3 donuts. But I wanted 5. I'm over to you, Toastmaster.
I would now like to invite our listener, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are perfectly audible.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum, Toastmasters. How are you all? I have been given the role of a listener, and the listener is probably capturing your
Sorry
phrases.
to interrupt, Toastmaster Fiza. Can you please speak a bit high? Your pitch is low.
Loud. Okay. Can you hear
Fine now.
me? Okay.
It's better.
Listener, I have been given the role of a listener, and a listener's role is to listen to your speeches and give to catch some phrases, and then after the end of the meeting, I have to uh, present some phrases without speaking the speaker's name, and you people have to guess it who spoke it. So basically that is what a listener does, to listen to your speeches very, very, acutely, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Fiza.
Thank you.
I would now like to invite Word Master and everyone's favorite Toastmaster Fahim Razak.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, TM Muzammil. The word of the day today is Odyssey. It's a noun. It is spelled as ODY SSEY, Odyssey. The meaning of this word is a long, eventful journey. I'll give you an example. For example, an odyssey from rags to riches, an odyssey of a poor man from being a poor man to a rich man, an odyssey of a spiritual transformation. So it can be anything that has a little bit of an event in it. It's a bit of adventure, and it's a slightly kind of longer in reasonable ways. So for example, it could be over a year, it could be over 6 months, but the thing is that it has to be some more eventful way. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim. Toastmaster Imran, do we have Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, as he is supposed to be our counter for today's meeting?
She said that she will join. Maybe you can explain the rule. If she joined, then we can have her report.
Okay, sure. Okay, so as our counter, a person has to notice every ums and ahs, or every pauses that are taken, filler words that are used by every speaker, and in the end, when the readers or the facilitators are asked to come and report the findings, the R counter will report the nouns used by every speaker. Okay, moving ahead, I would now like to commence our first session of today's meeting, which is the participation speech session. First of all, our first speaker today is Toastmaster Fiza, and to evaluate her, we have Toastmaster Noreen Fatima. I would now like to invite Toastmaster Noreen to please read out the speech objectives of Toastmaster Fiza.
Hope I'm audible and visible. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Muzammil. Today, Toastmaster Fiza is going to deliver her icebreaker speech, so which is the first speech of which is the first speech that she's going to deliver to start her Toastmaster journey. So the purpose of the speech is to share, to introduce herself and to become confident to stage. And that's all. I think I wish great luck to Toastmaster Fiza. Over to you, Toastmaster Fiza.
Assalamu alaikum, dear Toastmasters. Assalamu alaikum. Today I have been given a topic of an icebreaker to talk about myself. This is the most hardest topic for me because I really don't know how to describe myself in front of you. I'll start with the basics. You know my name. I work in HBL, but you don't know who I am. I'm an introvert and an extrovert. I like writing stories and telling stories. I love reading books, My favorite book is The Great Gatsby, and I wanted to be an author, but a life took a very sudden track, and I have faced many losses and struggles that what shaped me. I'm the eldest in the family with a lawyer mother and an amazing father. My parents pampered me a lot. I'm their favorite, but being a favorite comes with expectations which I can't fulfill most of them. I was raised as a boy, not as a girl. I know how to fix a tire, how to change a light bulb, all thanks to my amazing father. My father died in 2018, and that was a real tragedy for me. There doesn't go a day that I don't miss him. My father taught me how to be brave. I lost him during my MBA, and I didn't want to continue my studies. But my friends, bless them, they have supported me and the support I got from them. Getting my MBA was one of the proudest achievement. I have studied from Casper University, which I think is the best university. I have met my friends and family, my teachers here, and I have made a family of friends here. And we do everything together from studying to partying. And in 2021, I lost my best friend. That was another shock, which was really hard for me to recover. And to come from that shock and the pain that I had to endure to for losing someone who I really, really love has been unbearable. But Allah has made me gracious. He has made me strong. And I don't have one, but multiple family who love and cherish me. And the feeling is mutual. Of course, nobody can take place of my family and of my father and my best friend, but I do remember their smiles and their motivation to bring me forward and be happy. Being happy is not easy, let me tell you, but I like to say that I am like the sea. I like to challenge myself. And when something negative happens, I think of positiveness. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day I will. It is my greatest desire to learn Spanish and German. I'm pursuing Spanish and German, but it's my greatest desire to take my mother to Umrah and travel to northern areas. And I'm right now doing my certification courses in Islamic banking. Inshallah, I'll go very further. And I have started to manifest good things, and I'm sure, inshallah, I'll get it. I love music. I love to paint. I love to cook. I love to do new things. I like to make new friends. And I love to take care of them and make sure they are loved and cherished like I am. I do wear my heart on sleeve, as it is only a wish away. Unafraid and unashamed, there is so much joy to be claimed, as each happy ending is a brand new beginning. My fellow Toastmasters, I'm doing my first icebreaker with you. I feel very happy. This was possible because the challenges and the losses I have faced. Already somebody has lost someone and we don't know. And it's most hardest feeling ever. But no matter what, having a positive outlook in your life and combating negativity, you can turn your odyssey into most cherished memories. I know it's not easy, but we have to manifest it, and Allah will make it happen. Here's to making new friends and family. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fiza. It was wonderful listening to you. And I must say that you bagged the theme of today's meeting by saying that you take everything positive whenever something negative happens. So glad listening to you. Moving forward,
Thank you.
let's move on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Kareem, for whom I must say that boredom and Toastmaster Kareem can never coexist. To evaluate Toastmaster Kareem, I have another favorite Toastmaster, Toastmaster Fahim. Sir, please read out the objectives of Toastmaster Kareem's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muzammil. As you rightly said, boredom and Kareem, no go. One of the dynamic speakers I have ever encountered. His project today is from his Pathway Dynamic Leadership. level 3 and is for project number 2. And the name of the project is Connect with Storytelling. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. The timeline for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of the speech is To Naveed, Toastmaster Karim Meghani.
First, let me ask you if I'm audible and you can see me.
Yeah, you're audible and you can see.
Toastmaster Karim, since you are logged in from the mobile phone, right? So I'm not spotlighting you, right? As
I'm from. It's okay. You can spotlight me because I can see the screen on my computer also on the backside.
Okay, let me spotlight you.
Long time ago, when I started my career, my work, there were two Naveed came in my life. Now, this two Naveed is somebody who made a real difference in my life. Surprise? Can be one Naveed or how can be two Naveed with the same person? Toastmaster today, dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests. This story is a very important story of my life because I'm talking about my first job. I was selected as an intern in Karachi Marriott Hotel. Long time ago, started my life, 19-year-old Karim Meghani. And trust me, I was very thin. My wife used to tell me at that time, because she knows me, that you were like, in Urdu we say, Suki Dandi. So I can say that, something like a tree, which is like a bamboo tree. I was a very thin guy, but very tall. People know me, 6'3". So I'm quite tall, but I was very thin. And I started in a hotel. They accepted me that, they like me. So one of my assignment in my internship to work with banquets. And this banquet, the manager was Fauzia, Madam Fauzia. I still remember, a person who really taught me a lot. But there were two assistant managers. Morning assistant manager, Mr. Naveed. Evening assistant manager, another Mr. Naveed. And I was assigned to work with them to learn how the banquets and operation works. So now the story starts. The morning Naveed, how many of you are from Karachi, if I ask you? Okay, I can see some hands. In Karachi, one thing which is very famous, if you want to recognize this person is from Karachi, something in his mouth, one side, the mouth is always out, is eating always something called mawa. And I can smell it. Naveed Saab, wherever you are seeing this YouTube, I'm not insulting you. You liked it. I told you I don't like that you are eating mawa. But I'm telling you right now, please don't feel insulted. Remember you, my first boss in the morning. So the guy, Naveed, he's, okay. So you are training with me. So In 1 minute, 30 seconds, usually I understand what he talks to me. So he tells me, banqueting is, we have programs and we have events here. I said, Naveed Saab, how can you talk to the customer like this? I'm working in Karachi Marriott for so many years, but I am in Karachi. So don't worry, customers like it. Okay, Naveed Saab. Okay, I learned something. Said, okay, so in banquets, we run programs, we run events, you have stewarding, you have reception. Okay, sir, what I should do as an intern, how can I help you? Karim, you are 19, but you look so, tall and, people have a real impression on you. So why don't you take over some responsibility of cash? I said, I never handle cash. Said, no, when people will come, they will come for advance booking. You will take the money and you will go to the reception. I remember the first assignment he gave me. We had a meeting with a customer. The customer advance paid 50,000 rupees. I'm talking in 1998. 50,000 was a big amount. My salary was 2,500. And he gave me this. I was hiding somewhere in my jacket. I said, what you want me to do? Go to the reception, take a receipt and give it to this guy. I gave it. That was all my work with Mr. Naveed morning. Now the evening Mr. Naveed comes. Now this guy with a big mustache, and the mustache was like this, and he kept doing it always. And I remember him, very nice, elegant suit, always his hand is on his hairs and handling his tie. I said, Naveed Saab, you are completely different than the morning Naveed. He said, that Naveed, he doesn't know style. I will teach you style. But you have to stay in the evening with me also with the programs. I said, I came in the morning, 8 o'clock. Now you want me to stay in the evening? Karim, you want to learn? You have to come in the evening and work with me. And we finish the program sometimes at 1 o'clock in the morning. And again, 8 o'clock in the morning. I was supposed to stay in banqueting department for 3 months. And these two Naveeds made a ping pong of me for 6 months. The morning with the mawa, with the pan, in the evening, style, elegance, suit. Fantastic. What I learned in my life that days, that these two Naveed taught me to be facing the people always. How to handle operations. Sometimes the evening Naveed is only doing style, and I was handling the customers in 6 months. They don't want me to go even after 6 months. I was dependable. But that was a learning I was doing at 19-year-old. Today, I reflect that days that two Naveed really contributed in my life. And I want to give my tribute to them. Sir, I learned a lot from you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kareem. From your story, I learned that when I see someone eating mawa or gutka, I should not perceive them as who cannot, style themselves. Moving forward, I would now like to invite the third speaker, who is Toastmaster Velram. And to evaluate him, we have my friend Toastmaster Vase. Toastmaster Vase, please read out the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Velaram is going to present his project from Pathway Presentation Mastery, Level 2, Project 3. Understanding your communication style. The objective of his speech is, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. Timer note: the time of this the time for this project is for 5 to 7 minutes. Tactics of communication. Tactics of communication. Toastmaster Velaram, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone. I am audible. I need the response from all members.
Yes, you are.
You need
There is
to
an issue in my laptop, so sometime I'm not able to hear the voice of all. So
okay, Toastmaster Velaram, I think you
just one.
you need to mute one device.
I am audible.
Toastmaster Velaram, you need to mute one device so that there is no echo.
Communication is the ticket to success. If you pay attention and to learn to do it effectively, quoted by Q. Hello, Toastmaster and distinguished guests. Good evening. Today, my speech topic is the tactics of communication. The communication is the key process that involves the exchange of ideas among individuals or groups. Through a journal study, I have found 4 common style of the communication. Number first, passive communication. Number second one is the passive and aggressive communication. Number third, aggressive communication. And fourth one is the assertive communication. Passive communication. In passive communication, mostly people feel uncomfortable to express their opinion, views, thoughts with others. For example, in any organization, due to the lack of the confidence, lack of the knowledge, he or she are unable to share their thoughts and views with the boss. So this style of the communication is considered as an ineffective communication. Second one is the passive and aggressive communication. This type of the communication in which people are unable to express their feelings, emotions, but instead of that, they show their anger and frustration. Suppose in our home or in our office and lower staff, he or she may not able to share their thoughts with the boss, and in some time in situation and the boss or subordinate anger at the express their anger at employees, and then he went away and share their show or share their angers with colleagues or friends. I think we all are the experiencing here. Suppose we send passive and aggressive can apply here in the home. Suppose that this passive and aggressive communication style, if we apply on the husband and wife, and it may react to the anger, especially at the time of the dinners being prepared, then what do you expect? What would be happen? I think it may be overuse and excess of the salt and chilies. Then at the time of the dinner, you feel tasty and excessively spicy meal. Said, oh, what a hot dinner. And what is the impact of the passive and aggressive communication? Third one is the aggressive communication. From the word you can judge. The aggressive is the commonly negative form of the communication, where people express their feelings, opinions in a forceful manner, and they never considers other rights and they ignores the others' feelings as well. So this style of the communication mostly lead to the dispute between two parties. So we should avoid this type of the communication. It is a very dangerous style of communication. Fourth one is the assertive communication. This type is the best way of the communication, where people easily, comfortably, and in direct manner can share their experience, thoughts, views, opinions with others, and even they consider the rights and share their views in happy mood. So I think if any person have all of the assertive style of the communication, then he or she may achieve their goal in their life. In general study through Google, I have found the model of the Albert Mariband. He stated that the communication is divided into three forms. One is the 7, 38, and 55. He stated that only 7% is communication is conveyed through words only. 35% is conveyed through voice and tone, and 55% is through the facial expression and body language. So do you know all the man is the body language, facial expression, and voice and tone. So we should all work on that. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Velram. It's so good listening to you after so many days. Moving forward, I would now like to invite our fourth and the last speaker of today's first session. She is Toastmaster Rabia, Madam President, Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Hiba, please read out the speech objectives of Toastmaster Rabia Zishan.
It could be confirmed if Toastmaster Rabia is present in the meeting.
No, she isn't.
She isn't here.
I think we should move on with the table topic session.
Do you want her to be called after table topics?
I guess just to save time, because we'll have to.
Okay, let's wait
to
for
the
a minute.
Toastmaster of the evening.
Let's wait for a minute. Just a minute. Let me call her.
I think she must have gone for Maghrib prayer.
Okay, what we can do, we can start the table topic session, and then after the table topic session, we'll call her again to deliver her speech.
Okay, sure. Okay, so fellow Toastmasters, here we adjourn our first session and we move on to the second session of our today's meeting, which is the table topic session. And to conduct this session and to provide us with some challenges, we have our table topics master, DTM Sarfraz Nazir. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Give me a second to open my file. I will be sharing a file and then I'll start the table topic session.
Sure.
Fellow Toastmasters, the table topic session is the second segment of our meeting. The purpose of table topic session is to give an opportunity to members and guests to think on their feet. The table topic master provides the topic and selects someone from the audience and asks them to respond to that question for 1 to 2 minutes. The time is 1 to 2 minutes. Green light comes on at 1, yellow at 1.5, red at 2, and then speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up their response. Today, the theme is perception. The word of the day is Odyssey. The table topic session is split into 2 sections or 2 parts. The first will be dealing with perception, in which case I will be showing a picture, asking the responder to look at the picture and respond for 1 to 2 minutes. They can say anything they like after seeing that picture, what they see, what it makes them think, what it makes them feel. The second part will deal with the word of the day, Odyssey, in which case I'll start the story and have the first speaker continue the story. The second speaker will continue the story of the first speaker, and the third speaker will continue the story of the second speaker and also wrap up the story. So before begin, I want to make sure, Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, I have you on my list to participate. Is that fine?
Yes, I'm not in a physically ideal condition, but I cannot afford to lose my opportunity when it comes to speaking in Toastmaster.
Okay. Let's see. Can you, I'm sharing a screen, it's just white blank with nothing on it. Can you see it?
Yes,
I can see it.
Okay. So Toastmaster Asghar, I'll be showing you a picture. Look at the picture and then just respond for 1 to 2 minutes. The word of the day is Odyssey. If you can use that word during your response. All speakers are encouraged to use the word of the day. The picture is on the screen. Look at it and then begin when you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
So go ahead.
Okay. Am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster, of today's Toastmaster meeting. I have seen these pictures on more than one occasions in different books. Actually, it is, I don't know if it's a sign of good luck or something related to the Odyssey, but I can tell you that this book has 2 different pictures. And we can see it from 2 different angles. And this reminds me a story written by a Czech author called Francis Kafka. And I can see a magician who is roaming inside the cities and cajoling people, pursuing them to do his bit, to follow him blindly in order to for his nefarious end. And I think I have seen this woman in my real time, at least in my real life, at least 2 occasions. But she failed to deceive me. At that time, she was an old lady and she was roaming around with my mother-in-law in a park. And my mother-in-law introduced that old lady as her friend. But since I know my relationship with my mother-in-law, so I stopped believing her. And I think virtually she was convinced that she would not be able to pursue me, and then she left, and then both of them went to another man who was sitting far away from me in the same park, and they started to talking with him. This is end from my side. I'm not conscious about the time because I'm outside, so this is what I had to say. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Azhar, for your perception. Our next topic is on the screen. Toastmaster Wase Ahmed, please look at the picture and respond when you're ready. 1 to 2 minutes. The word of the day is Odyssey. Toastmaster Wase.
Okay, so I was in. Okay, what do I have to do? Because I just went for.
The table topic session is the picture. Can you see the picture on your screen?
Yes, I can
Just
see.
look at the picture and say anything that you want about it. What it makes you think, what it makes you feel.
Right. Okay. Okay. So again, it's completely accurate about perceptions because I can see two things. One thing I can see a duck, and the other thing I could see is a rabbit. But to be very honest, the picture's neck is too thin for a rabbit, so I might go for a duck. From duck, I just remember the table topic session with Toastmaster Fahim Razak, and he said that what he misses the most was his small duck, in which he said he always knew how she was, but he loved her anyway. Coming to the part of rabbit, if I could say about rabbit, I just remember that rabbit and tortoise or turtle thing, rabbit or turtle. I just read about some other perception, other things, if how that story could have been interpreted. That if rabbit wouldn't have slept, rabbit must have won. But in another story, what happened was there was a river going between them. So what rabbit did was, rabbit actually jumped upon the turtle, and he could have and he actually passed that river in a much better way what he could have done going alone. And the other thing happened is that turtle jumped upon rabbit, which was not possible. But what it made sure was that by cooperation of turtle using rabbit on the river, and by the cooperation that turtle using a rabbit on the jungle road, they ended the race much faster than they could have done alone. Like by using each other's strengths as their and making it in their own strengths, they ended up in cooperation and making a much better ending to it. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wase. The next picture is on the screen. Toastmaster Imran, is it possible for you to time yourself and respond, or would you like someone else to time your response? So Toastmaster Imran, you're the next table topic speaker.
I can time Toastmaster Imran.
Oh, okay.
Just a minute, let me remove my virtual background.
Okay, thank you.
So can I begin?
Yeah, just whenever you're ready. Thank you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If we look closely to this picture, again, you will see two images. The first one is the image of a cup of a victory cup that you have won in any competition, or it gives you an idea that if you work hard, then if you work hard and diligently committed with the work you are doing, you can achieve and you can win this cup. And from the second picture, it seems like that two friends are communicating with each other, that maybe they are gossiping about Toastmaster Muzammil and Toastmaster Wase, or maybe the two images are of Toastmaster Wase and Toastmaster Muzammil. Maybe they are gossiping about how are we going to evaluate the overall meeting. But you can see that there's a it's all about black and white, means that you cannot there's you what I can say, that there's all black and white, so you cannot trust to anyone. So it's all about the perception, what you perceive from the picture. So to me, the first one is if you want to achieve anything, then you need to set the target. And the second one is that Toastmaster Muzammil and Toastmaster Wase will going to do something about today's meeting. So over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. So this completes the perception portion of my table topic session. And now I'm going to move into the Odyssey portion. Toastmaster Noreen, would you like to participate in the Odyssey portion of the table topic session? Okay. And Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, I'm sure you would like to participate. Are you available to participate, Toastmaster Mariam? You can, if you can turn your video on. And how about Toastmaster Fahim Razak? We don't have Toastmasters attending meeting who do not have roles, so I have to call upon ones that already have some role. So you're the three speakers, Toastmaster Noreen, then Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, and then Toastmaster Fahim Razak. I'm going to give you a phrase or a few words, Toastmaster Noreen, and then you will use those words to start your response story. When you are finished, Toastmaster Mariam, you will take over. It'll just be a few seconds pause. We won't be introducing you. I'll just say your name if you don't start. Just start to continue the story that you heard from Toastmaster Noreen. And Toastmaster Mariam, when you finish your response, then Toastmaster Fahim Razak will take over, continue the story. You will not only continue, you'll also then end the story. So three people will be the speakers to complete one story. So we'll begin with Toastmaster Noreen. Once upon a time, Noreen, Fatma.
Yes, hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, I was sitting in a cafe and enjoying my favorite espresso and reading my favorite book called Atomic Habits. And I was enjoying reading and I was enjoying reading the favorite 4-step formula in adapting new habits. And I was enjoying my hot espresso. And I got a phone call suddenly. And I got a phone call suddenly that made me astonished, that made me surprised and kept my attention. Now moving to Toastmaster Mariam.
Very nice, Toastmaster Mariam. and that was no one other than a Rishtawali auntie. The day before when I was having the espresso coffee, she asked me, "How are you, beta?" and everything within a goody way. I was amused at why she called me and trying to ignore her all the way so that I can avoid all her stupid things and all these stupid questions that she was asking me, how to cook, what to do, what you can make in the kitchen the best. And I said, my face, you want to see that? What is best in you? I said, nothing. You can come, you can ask my parents also. And different questions. Dodging all those questions and all those queries that she was raising towards me, I found an interesting topic, and that was very intellectual in the book that I was reading. And I started discussing that with her. Now, that was my turn to make her feel awkward with all those questions that she never wanted to answer. Maybe she never knew those questions before. I asked her, do you know the theories? She said, what theories? I said, any theory. And she said, no. And I said, nothing, you don't know any theory? She said, no, what do you mean by those? I said, do you know who was Newton? And then she tried to overcome the topics. And then I moved towards Toastmaster Fahim Razak.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam. Well, whilst I was speaking with this Rishta Wali auntie, the person who introduces the kind of does the arranged marriage in our culture, and I was asking her all these difficult questions that she had never had before from anyone. And whilst I was speaking to her, I noticed the guy staring at me just across the table, and he was staring in a cute way, in a nice way. And I was like, wow, I am single, ready to mingle, and I've got this auntie on the phone. Why do I need her? Maybe I can create my own rishta here. So I still had her on the phone, but I was kind of exchanging stares with that guy. And one thing led to another. It's still in the actions. It's still through our hand gestures and body language. And you know what I said to the auntie? I am saying no to you. You are asking me all these difficult questions, whether I know cooking, I do this, I do that. What have I studied? What have I not? What are my plans? I don't want to answer all this. It's my personal life, and I'm creating my life. So I don't need you. Don't ever call me again. Goodbye. Over to you, DTM Sir Sarfaraz.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen, Toastmaster Mariam, and Toastmaster Fahim. Toastmaster Muzammil, do we have time for one more final? We have Omar Sheikh. I was going to see if he wants to participate. So I'll give him a topic as the final table topic speaker.
Toastmaster Imran, do we have?
Only one topic.
One, it's just one more. Toastmaster Omar Sheikh, are you available to respond to a tabletop question? Toastmaster Omar Sheikh?
He's a guest.
Okay, he may be away. So, fellow Toastmasters, you saw what table topics is. There were two sections. The first dealing with our theme, perception. The second dealt with our Odyssey, word of the day. Mr. Timer, did all the speakers, 6 speakers, qualify?
Yes, all the speakers qualified.
So I'll ask the vote counter to please
Yes,
put out
I'm
okay.
launching the poll. So
Thank you.
We have 30 seconds to cast your vote.
Okay. Thank you. Please take a moment and vote for the best tabletop speaker. And at this time, it is my pleasure and honor to turn the control of the meeting back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Muzammil.
Thank you, sir, Toastmaster DTM Sarfraz Nazir. It was an amazing session today, and I must say that you, as always, made it creative with your creativity. You made it aligned with our not even just with our theme, but also with the word of the day. So that is something admirable, sir. Thank you so much for conducting this wonderful session. Moving forward, I would now now like to invite our last speaker, Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, who is supposed to be evaluated by Madam President Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Hiba, can you please read out the speech objectives of Toastmaster Rabia?
Okay.
It's in the group I shared recently. The
Yes,
Karachi
Toastmaster Rabia is doing level 4 elective project question and answer session titled Creating Agents of Positive Change. And the pathway is motivational strategies. And I'll read out the objectives. There are two. The first one is the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. And the second one, the purpose of this speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time so there is adequate opportunity for both. Over to you, Toastmaster Rabia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. May I have the, yes, I have the right.
Yeah, what's the duration? 5 to 7, right?
No, it's 15 to 20 minutes, and it's going to be followed by a question answer session as well. So I have to manage time plus my presentation. Is that okay?
Okay.
Toastmaster Imran, can you tell me when you will be showing the timings? 15.
The time duration is 30 to 40 minutes, right?
No, 15 to 20 minutes, I think.
Okay, 15 to 20 minutes. Yes, 15 green. Okay, then I'll show you the yellow card at 18, and at 20 I'll show the red card, right?
Okay, perfect.
15, 18,
Perfect.
20.
Okay, perfect. Agents of positive change. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I'm going to tell you about how to become an agent of positive change, but more importantly, how you can make others agents of positive change. I will be giving all of you time for questions and answers at the end. So if you do have any questions, please note them down or write them in the chat box. $22.8 million children are out of school in Pakistan. Let that sink in. Do you know how huge that number is? It's almost the entire population of the Australian continent. The people in Australia, the children, the elder, the senior citizens, all combined together, and only the children in our country who are out of school is equally the same. To overcome this problem, a group of friends got together and they thought, why not do something for our country, for our nation? And they discussed it over many gatherings. And one wanted to open a hospital, one wanted to open a place where people could get food. But in the end, they realized that if we enable a child to get good quality education, we are uplifting it from the needy level to a sustainable level. He won't be needing any help if he is able to sustain his own. Decided to open schools. TCF started with 5 schools in 1995 with 700 students. And today we have 1,883 school units throughout Pakistan, where around 280,000 students are currently getting education. TCF of independently run schools in the world. It is also Pakistan's largest single employer of women outside the public sector in an effort to make girls feel safer in environment. And we are not saying this, it's the economist who is saying this. Pakistan has around, TCF has around 13,000 female staff, which is the second highest number after the government of Pakistan. We did a survey where we went to the lower income and underprivileged areas and asked the parents what is the reason they do not want to send their girls to school. And you will be surprised to know that it wasn't because they didn't wanted the girls to study, but it was because either the school were really far off and they did not want to send their girls to travel far. Secondly, they did not wanted a male presence in the school. And that is why the TCF model is that create the schools, these are purpose hours of walking to go to their school, get out from their houses, and in 5 minutes they can reach their schools. And secondly, these are purpose-based campuses and they vary from their building structure according to the provinces. You can see on the top left corner, the roofs are inclined because they are built in an area where there are more rain. So the building varies according to the geographical and the climatic conditions of the province and of the area where they are built. It is necessary for a TCF school model to have a separate building for the primary section and for the secondary section, and to have a ground. If they do not have enough land to make a ground, they do not open a school. So these are the basic principles of a TCF building structure. It's not just that if we get a 500 yards house and we'll start a school over there. We need a proper land where we can build a separate campus for primary, a separate campus for secondary, and a ground, so that the children get good quality education plus physical education as well, and the environment that they lack in their society. We provide subsidized education for the most needy. TCF do not offer education for free. We do charge them a little amount, and the reason for that is we want them to take ownership of the studies. A parent who is paying from 20 rupees to 800 rupees. The minimum fees in TCF is 20 rupees per month, and the maximum is 800, and it depends on the household income of the family that child belongs to. So when a parent is, for example, paying 50 rupees or 200 rupees at the end of the semester, they come to the school and ask why their child hasn't done well enough or why isn't he progressing, because they own their child's education and for their self-respect as well, so that they know, okay, they are getting their education and they are paying for it. So to keep in mind their self-respect and their ownership, we do charge a very subsidized fees from the students. These schools are embedded in the heart of the community, as I told you, so that it's easier for the students and for the parents to do the traveling to the school and back. And we have an all-female faculty. So the teachers from primary to metric are all female faculty, and that is why we have equal number of girls and boys. 50% female enrollment. It's a major value of TCF that in a class there will be 50% females and 50% males. So if you have a class of 26 students, 12 will be girls and 12 will be boys, and they make steps to ensure that this happens. And it's especially they work on the female education in Pakistan. Up till now, 58% matriculation results that we get every year are either A or A+ grades. And that is a huge achievement, considering that they do not have a educational or any support other than TCF in their homes. These students, the parents of these students are usually daily wagers, or they work and they are not able to give time, and they are also not educated enough to support their child's education, and they cannot even afford tuitions. So these are the children who have who get A or A1 grades only from what has been taught in the school. Keeping dreams alive. We have a generation of children which are at risk. Education cannot wait. It's high time that we all take responsibility and ownership of educating our future. The generation of today is 100% our future. And if we do not educate them, just imagine what kind of future our nation holds. In April 2020, when our country was facing the COVID crisis, TCF made its first ever TV-based edutainment. So the schools were closed. Children could not come to school. So what they did within 1 month was open a program on the PTV channel, which was the PTV school channel, named Ilm Ka Angan, where a renowned actress Sania Saeed used to also tell stories in each segment. It also had physical activities, and this was usually focused on the pre-primary kids, the really small children who were really cut off from the school. And if we did not give them education, or if we did not get them connected, it would have regressed their education. So this was a way where we took steps and made sure that we connected with the students even during the time of COVID. It had 18 stories, and we also printed a magazine called Imka Angan. After every 14th day, a parent would come and take one of the Imka Angan. It was like a workbook which the child would fill in 15 days and then return to the school, so that they feel connected to education. So when after COVID the schools were open, it was they had kept connected through these TV programs and through these workbooks that were constantly being given by the TCF administration. One thing which TCF did, and which is really we all should appreciate, was that the staff and the families and the students were really impacted by the COVID and the floods in multiple ways. And special attention was given to their mental health and emotional well-being. And an entire process was designed for connecting with the students and the staff as well, to fulfill their emotional well-being and their social well-being. I doubt any private school was able to do that. TCF 2030 mission is that we want to educate 2 million students. And I hope that all of you will take part in this. That we have a program which is called the Bhagwan Ambassadors Program. And Bhagwan's vision is to program and with the ethos of Bhagwan program, which is respectful, be respectful, show gratitude, and take ownership. One of the main reasons I recommend the Bhagwan program is to take ownership of your nation, take ownership of your surrounding, take ownership of your future, and show gratitude for what is available, instead of just blaming the entire previous generation or the current generation for all the problems that we are facing. I know Pakistan is facing a lot of economical crisis and political crisis as well. But instead of blaming and wasting time in unfruitful discussions on social media, why not show gratitude for the opportunities that are actually available on ground through organizations like the Citizens Foundation, like Indus Hospital, like SIUT. There are many organizations that are doing great work. So why not take ownership and show gratitude and do your part to make your nation better and be respectful to each other. The objectives are, we'll raise education awareness because it's an education crisis in Pakistan. We'll raise funds for TCF and sustain it. And we will develop servant leaders. One thing which is very close to my heart, one thing which is very close to my heart is developing servant leaders. Servant leaders are the leaders who serve their team and who serve their surrounding and their community. And through this Bhagwan program, I tend to do that. And I would love for you to grow as a servant leader in our community, because that's the true thing which will give you contentment and fulfillment. Number of lives changed through the Bhagwan programs. We are 175 volunteers plus compassion is 7,500 education support for children. And this number is increasing with every cycle. So you can be a part of this volunteer group and you can help create agents of positive change and become agents of positive change as well. The Bhagwan structured program is that the head office are the employees who are at the head office and sitting, and after that there is a volunteer pool, which are the chapter heads, and then they have the volunteer pool. So your point of contact as volunteers will be the chapter heads, and then they will be the bridging gap between the TCF head office and the volunteers. So if you have any queries, you have to go to your chapter heads. There are many chapter heads in Karachi, and we can connect you with those. We have different Bhagwan program activities like competition, art competition, video competition, social media competition. Plus, we also have trainings on how to raise funds, on how to raise awareness, how to use social media to effectively reach wider audience. So these trainings, which will be giving, we will be giving to you in the coming months. And we also have meetups. So it's not all about raising funds. It's also about networking, meeting new people, learning from the experience of your team members. So we have students, we have professionals, we have senior citizens who are working with us. We have people who have retired, and they have a huge amount of experience from which we can learn and we can grow as a person as well. So you not only give back to the society, you also learn a lot from the experiences. And in the end of the cycle, we will be giving you awards for the star volunteer who brings most donations. And we will also be posting like this. We'll mention it in the groups. And benefits for working for a cause: you connect with kind-hearted people. It improves your mental and physical health. Believe me, it's the best activity ever. It fulfills your heart as well, your soul as well. You get the chance to learn new skills, improves your self-image, brings fulfillment to your life, and you do something good as well. One of the greatest things that you can give is your time. So register for the Bhagwan program, and the floor is open to question and answers.
Okay, may I ask a question, please?
Yes, please. Why not?
Okay, maybe it's not relevant, but okay, TCF is working for the underprivileged, right?
Yes.
Is TCF has any plan in pipeline regarding working for the middle class or lower middle class people? Because since the inflation and the high prices, the middle class and the lower middle class, they are now in crisis. If not, you may ask this question to the management of
No.
TCF.
Yes, I'll do that as well. But to answer your question, the TCF schools are built within a community. So if you visit the outskirts of Karachi, like Mulla Isa Goat or Peer Sarindi Goat or the Khuda Ki Basti, Liari Express, Liari Colony, there are huge lands which people donate. TCF do not have funds enough to buy land and make a school. It's usually donors who donate us a land in these underprivileged areas. And you know that the cost of these land when it's in a village or in an underprivileged area, it's quite low. Imagine making a TCF school in Gulshan Iqbal. We need an area of 4,000 square yards. Do you think there are donors available who will be able to give? And are the upper middle class or lower middle class families ready to go to a school which is called a welfare school? So that is a very concerning thing. We do have small societies in our main city areas as well, but there are many people who wouldn't want to go to a charitable organization. It would come in their status. And secondly, TCF do not refuse any admission. So if you are able to send your kids to the TCF school, do apply. If seats are available, they'll be happy to accommodate you. But for that, you have to make sure that the travel to and from school is your responsibility. So that becomes difficult when the school is very far off from the main city. I hope I was able to answer your question. Toastmaster Karim Meghani, I think you have a question.
Yeah, thank you for this wonderful presentation. And I think that, one of the society need for investing in education. I have two questions because I've worked in social development also myself. Then I just want to ask, how to audit the impact you know that you told me that, your indicator is that students are getting higher grades in the exams, in the board exams. That is your indicator. But is this enough? Are we, what is the journey? Are we following the students that, where they will end up after this schooling? What is the career plans? How we are getting enter into universities or colleges? So how we are doing this particular part?
I am
Thank you.
so glad that you asked this question, because due to shortage of time, I wasn't able to accommodate it in my presentation. The thing which attracted me to work for TCF was their alumni development program. We make sure that the TCF students not only get education till metric only, and then we leave them to roam about in the streets and looking for a job. We make sure they get inter education, plus TCF gives them scholarship for their tertiary education. You won't find any university in the main cities, including Behria, NAST, LUMS, ICRA University, where you won't find TCF students, because TCF alumni department is supporting their education, and they keep in touch. If their grades are falling below, they call them for a meeting with their parents, and then they ask what the reason is. So I know one TCF alumni whose grades were falling down because she was commuting 2 hours drive, changing 3 buses to reach his university. And then when he told this in the TCF alumni development program, they gave him scholarship for the commute as well. So we do not leave our students in between. We make sure they get their tertiary education and then also get jobs. And we offer them internships in we have packed with different banks and different organizations where the first priority is given to our alumni. So I'm so glad you asked that question. And I know a lot of people have questions and I would really love to answer them, but I can see the red light that Toastmaster Imran Rana has. And
you can
to
take
all,
last from Toastmaster Vase.
okay, Toastmaster Vase, your question. You are muted.
Unmute yourself, please.
Toastmaster Rabia, I belong to a comparatively privileged background, but to be honest, I do belong to a hood. I live in Orangi, so in my surroundings there is a big hood. The point is, the perception here is that if you are a boy, you have to finish your metric, and then you are supposed to get some skills of a mechanic or something, and then start a shop. Or even if you are in your early teens, I would say 11 or 12, then still you are supposed to be in a shop and working, the child labor thing. Or if you are a girl, then you'll get married after 15. There is no other way. These are the two perceptions. Now, the main problem comes here is the parents say that why should I send my children to school when there would be a loss of money, and the second thing is I see no future. There is an environment that there is no job in the country. So one thing you answered was about higher education, which was there in question. But the second thing is there something related to skills development? Because again, those families do need money. And the other thing is, do you scrutinize the backgrounds of those families? Those admissions that come in, do you scrutinize those backgrounds? So these are my questions.
Okay. I'll ask her.
Toastmaster Rabia. The time is up. You may answer on the chat, or you can email, or you can call.
I'll send audio messages to all of you. Write your questions, and I'll be happy to answer your question in the. Thank you so much. And I wish I had like 20 more minutes to answer all these questions, because this is what being agents of positive changes. And let's have a discussion on our group there. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia, for this wonderful speech and for enlightening us with the foundation and the concept of the Citizens Foundation. Okay, so here comes the final, our first session of prepared speeches finally to an end. And I would now like to move on to the third and last session, which is the evaluation session. In this session, each speaker
Please cast your vote.
and
Please cast your vote for
every aspect of the meeting will be evaluated, and constructive feedback will be given to each and every speaker. And to conduct this session, we have our general evaluator today, Toastmaster Vase. Toastmaster Vase, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So we are now in the evaluation session. The evaluation session is basically divided into 3 parts. First, we have prepared speech evaluation. Then we have table topics evaluation. And the third, we have facilitators report. As we all know that feedback is the breakfast of the champion, because it was repeatedly said by Toastmaster Hina Ali and Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan, as I usually know. So now we are going to move to the first part of the session, that was the prepared speech evaluation. So our first speaker was, according to the agenda, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, and her evaluator was Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. So Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, do we have you?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase. Hope I'm audible and visible. I'm facing some internet connectivity issue. Or should
Yes,
I need to log in from phone? Please confirm.
No, you are perfectly audible. Okay, just wanted to inform you guys that I've been called for a meeting, so I have to drop from the meeting. I'm making host to Toastmaster Mohammad Muzammil, and the timer is Toastmaster Kareem Haider Ali Megani. Hope you guys, I'll try my best to join you guys soon, but if not, then I'm extremely very sorry. Apologies from my side. Over to you.
So I'm visible,
Thank
I
you.
guess. Audible and visible.
You are not visible.
You are
Okay,
not visible.
that's an issue. I think there is some issue in my laptop camera, I guess. Or I think I can
Maybe you
log in
can
from
connect with the
phone.
phone.
Yes,
you
I
can-
think that's the best. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I got the link in email. Yes. Here's the link. Hope I am visible now. Hope now I am audible and visible now. I have left meeting from laptop. That's
Yes,
great.
you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase, Mr. General Evaluator, for giving me the stage to evaluate our very passionate Toastmaster, Fiza Aziz. So first of all, I request all of you to please turn on your camera and give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Fiza Aziz as per norms of Toastmasters International. Toastmaster Fiza would be, I think, inquiring that why we all are standing here. Actually, it is the norm of Toastmasters International. Whenever a member delivers his or her ice-breaking speech, we give them a standing ovation for appreciation and encouraging them. So I want to congratulate you, Toastmaster Fiza, for delivering your ice-breaking speech. You have already broken your ice, and I'm very thankful to you for showing your audacity and sharing your personal story, covering your achievement, challenges, your personal life, and the challenges that came your way. I'm sure after delivering your ice-breaking speech, you will be feeling relaxed, and a bit more confident. And I thoroughly enjoyed your speech. It was very important and very. And now moving towards our speech objective, the purpose of the speech was to introduce yourself. And we all witnessed that you exclusively introduced yourself, covering your personal life, your likes, dislikes,
challenges, your personal experiences, and your hobbies as well. And I found it very inspiring speech overall. And we all know that there is always room for improvement. Only the perfect is our creator. So we all try our level best to improve. And here are some recommendations, but these are suggestions that will help you in your future speeches. So the first challenge that observation that I noticed that during our online meetings, it's one of the challenge for the speaker to share their hand gestures and to actually so that they can share their body language. And if they are and in your speech, what I noticed that you were sitting. If I could be at your place, I could adjust my camera or my laptop and especially my hand free, so that my whole focus would be towards my speech instead of while I was just I would be holding my hand free. Actually, that distracts the audience. So in your future speeches, I advise you to if you are giving your speech in an online meeting, try to adjust your camera and make sure that you are delivering your speech in standing mode. It will give you more confidence and more attentive, and it will be easier for your audience to understand your hand gestures as well, and it will have more impact. Secondly, what I noticed at some points that you were reading your notes because of lack of practice. So here I'm going to share Toastmaster Fiza. We all are here for learning. First step, if I could be at your place, I would rehearse more or practice 1 or 2 more times more so that I'll be able to learn or memorize my speech. Or secondly, if at some point I could miss any point, what I could do is I hold my notebook or one pager where I have written my notes. I could read them openly. I think it becomes more easier when you can you read your points in front of your audience instead of turning back and looking downward to your pager. It actually distracts audience. So if at any point you miss any of your point, doesn't matter. First, you know that your whole story is already you are aware of it. No one knows that. So you can miss that point. Or if you really want to emphasize on that point, what you could do is you could take your notes and can see the point where you were missing. Last but not the least, I found it a constructive speech. In the opening, you already shared that what you are going to share in your speech. And although the conclusion was also very impactful, where you shared some lessons for the audience and takeaway actions to share your perspective about your life. And however, in the body, what I noticed that so much information was shared about yourself, but in a zigzag manner. So I advise you to make your points and prioritize that points which need to be shared. The most important areas of the most important aspects of your life that need to be shared, along with some connecting lines, some transitioning lines, or some story that can connect your message more towards your audience. Overall, it was an inspiring speech with so much experiences. However, a little bit working on speech practice while standing and a little bit working on speech structure, you can make your future projects to even next level. I wish you great luck for your future projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. That was a thorough evaluation, I must say. And thank you for remembering that standing ovation thing. So it was a great evaluation, I must say. The next speaker we had was Toastmaster Karim Meghani. And for Toastmaster Karim Meghani, we have Toastmaster Fahim Razak as his evaluator. Toastmaster Fahim Razak. Toastmaster Fahim Razak, do we have you?
Yes. Can you guys hear me and see me?
Yes. Toastmaster Fahim Razak, wait a minute. Is the timer pinned? Because I think there is a problem with the timer not getting pinned and we can't see the timer at times. So
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking me?
Timer as well
no,
during my
Toastmaster Muzammil.
Okay.
Toastmaster, can you pin that?
Who is the host? I think Muzammil or Rabia. Can you
You
just
can just
pin me?
raise your virtual hand, so you'll come on top.
Okay.
Okay.
Toastmaster Kareem, you have to raise your virtual hand.
Okay, I will raise my hand, but I think Fahim will be doing the speeches now. Yeah, his evaluation. Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I guess we are good to go.
Okay.
Toastmaster Fahim.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Toastmaster Kareem, you're always a delight to be heard to, And as always, when you started your speech, you were very composed, very relaxed, with a clear voice. People say you need to start with some sort of funny anecdotes or some sort of hoorah. I don't think so. Because you always get our attention simply because you are just so relaxed. And then soon after that, you move very naturally to your speech, to your Odyssey, which was how you kind of were brought up as a 19-year-old, looking for a job, got a job, and then there it was. As always, we get a joke from you very soon after you start your speech. So once again, you maintained our attention. Then you went into your body part of your speech, which was obviously your two managers, which was the meat of your speech. Naveed in the morning, Naveed in the evening, two very distinct characters. And you define those characters, you see, which I think normally can only be, I've only seen it done by very skilled authors, when they write novels and they have to describe each character. So that is your skill, that's the way you describe it. One eating gutka, and his mouth you can see kind of coming out from one side. The other guy very crisp with a mustache, wearing nice clothes and very crisp. So once again, you kind of had us immersed into your story. And then you finally kind of went into your conclusion that you learned from them and that you are what you are as well. You take away from what they had taught you over the years. I think, once again, very fantastic. I've just got a couple of things I just want to mention here is I thought your transition from your body to your conclusion was a little abrupt. You went after describing them into that you learned so much. I would have thought that you could have mentioned a little bit there, like what you had actually learned, how it had helped you in your life over the years, what you are today, how that had contributed to what you are today. That had prolonged the transition from where you were to where you got to. But that's just one little observation there. And yeah, I thought once again you had jokes in the opening and in the middle, but I thought you were just missed that thing right at the end. You had few opportunities there, and I know you can just do it because it just comes so natural to you. I didn't think you might have thought about it, but it just comes natural to you. But all in all, once again, a fantastic speech. And as always, I look forward to it. I have missed your speeches for some time now. So really glad to have you today. With that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim Razak. I always love how you bring in humor, even in your evaluation speech. Naveed in the morning, Naveed in the evening. Right. Okay. So our next speaker was Toastmaster Velaram, and his speech evaluator is none other than Toastmaster Wasim. So over to Toastmaster Wasim Ahmed. Tama, are we ready now? Okay. Toastmaster Velaram, Tactics of Communication. Toastmaster Velaram, the purpose of this speech was to identify and explain the various ways of communication styles. And the other part was to identify your own communication style and the impact it has on other people. Coming to the strong points of your speech, I must say that the best part, what I liked was the structure of your speech. You started by explaining what communication is, then you identified those communication styles, then you explained each of them. Later, you gave example with each of them. And in the last, you told us about the impact with statistics, what communication has overall in our daily life. The other good part I was like that you were speaking really calmly. You were not really rushing with your speech. You were not really rushing with your words. You were talking about, uh, uh, yeah, you were talking with your facial expressions. And there were adequate hand gestures. When we were talking about the hot dinner and other stories or the other examples you give, there were facial expression, there were hand gestures. On the improvement points, I was thinking that if you could have added anecdotes, it could have been more engaging than just examples. Examples and explanations usually become quite rough. People do lose interest. So what you can do is add some anecdotes. The other thing you could do is, there was something missing with the linking of words, I must say. You for the passive aggressive style, you said that they do not engage with emotions, but then you told about their frustration and anger. But again, frustration and anger itself is an emotion. So I guess something about those linking was missing. The third thing which I majorly missed was, what's your own communication style? You didn't tell us what was your own communication style and its impact on other people's, how other people's like you when you have you give in your talk in your own communication style. So overall, objectives partly achieved. The strong points were your structure of the speech, how you delivered the speech, you had your facial expressions, you had your hand gestures. Just work, just you can add some anecdotes in it, better linkages of words, and just have a look for an objective remaining. Thank you. That's from my side.
Thank you very much, dear Wasi Ahmed sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Rabia was our last speaker of the prepared speech session, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan. So do we have Madam President here?
Yes.
Madam President, stage is yours.
Yes, CM Rabia. Okay, CM Rabia, you definitely had an interesting title to the speech, which immediately caught my attention. And okay, what I liked about your speech was that it had good clarity, and I could easily understand what you were saying. You had good positive examples to which you elaborated upon. You had good eye contact during the time you spoke, and I found you constantly looking at the camera. And the audience were quite aware about what you were speaking, since it was about the education sector of Pakistan, and we all know how deprived the education sector of Pakistan is in Pakistan, in our economy, and especially, okay, and since you've become with the passage of time, you've become quite a good speaker, and I could detect no signs of hesitation or nervousness, and there was quite a good level of comfort in your speech, and you had good practical examples to which you elaborated upon, and practical examples to which you elaborated upon, and you also stated good facts and interesting facts and figures about TCF and about the economy of Pakistan, which were quite interesting and which one should be aware of. And so that all this made your speech very interesting, and the interest of especially me as an evaluator was quite there in your speech. Was quite there in your speech because it definitely was interesting, and you definitely the questions that were thrown to you were quite sorry, the questions that were thrown to you, all the response were quite effective. However, due to there was an issue of time management, and you could have definitely improved upon the time management in the question and answer area, and there were two other areas of improvement. Firstly, I thought that you could have incorporated more vocal variety in your speech and to bring more interest and depth, and you could have improved upon your gestures, hand and body gestures, which could have made you more expressive. Overall, it was a pretty good speech, which was well delivered, and with slight improvements, you definitely will become a better speaker. Thank you. Thank you, I'm done.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Have a nice guy. So the timer has all the prepared speech evaluators qualified.
Noreen Fatima, no. Otherwise, everybody qualified.
Yeah.
It was, I think she was president. It was 5 minutes 33 seconds. So
and President, she
way
couldn't see the
time.
timer.
I
But,
couldn't see the timer.
President, she couldn't see the timer.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. The voting is been raised by the host here, so you can do the voting now for the evaluation.
Okay, can we have the voting for the prepared speech evaluation, Toastmaster? Toastmaster Muzammil? Can you do that?
Toastmaster Vase, I've never launched the vote poll. I'm unaware
Okay,
unaware about that.
what we can do is okay.
Can you make me the host also, a co-host also? I'll do the voting.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. In the meantime, we can move to the table topic evaluations. For the table topic evaluations, we have Toastmaster Rabia. Toastmaster Rabia,
Yes.
over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase. The table topics today were like amazing today. And I am so, I apologize that I joined late and I wasn't able to really evaluate the first two ones properly, because at that time I thought it was a prepared speech going and someone is sharing a speech, and then I realized, oh, the table topics have actually started. So DTM Sarfaraz, it was an amazing table topic session, and the way you incorporated the theme, perception, I really liked the images that you showed, and I loved the way it was carried out. Our second speaker for today was Toastmaster Muzammil, and he was shown the duck and the rabbit. He started by explaining the duck, and then he moved on to a story of the rabbit and the turtle. And
Toastmaster Rabia, sorry to interrupt. The second speaker was Toastmaster Vase. But you can carry on, yeah. Toastmaster Vase.
Toastmaster Vase. I don't know why I have written Toastmaster Muzammil. So sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, and that is what I'm seeing right now as well. Okay, I'm looking at Toastmaster Vase and I'm saying Toastmaster Muzammil. So sorry, apologize for that. Your speech, you started off very well. You explained the duck part, and then you created a beautiful story of the tortoise and the turtle, and then you ended it. I would have loved to see you speaking about perception, because that was what it was. Okay, you can see the picture with both sides, and it was in a monotone language. try using your vocal variety more. You were talking about rabbits and fast, so use your hand gestures and your voice as well. And the turtle, the slow turtle. So just a few things. The third speaker was Toastmaster Imran Rana, and he saw the champions trophy and the two faces, and I really loved the way he connected the champions trophy and that we should work for our goal. And then he brought in humor by mentioning that these are two people who are talking from our Toastmasters audience, and it was really very nice because it made us all reconnect. Oh, why is he talking about these two people? So I really like the way he did that. The fourth speaker, it was a combined effort, and I really liked that as well because that showed perception as well. Same story, but by three people, and how it can change. Toastmaster Noreen, you started really confidently and managed the flow. You talked about the book and entry into the cafe, and you very abruptly gave it to Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. I don't think she was expecting it that time. She might be expecting, and it was really funny. It was like you were about to start a sentence and then you immediately called Toastmaster Mariam. And Toastmaster Mariam, what a beautifully you took over the topic and made it a story of your own. The conversation you had between you and your auntie, you had emotions in that conversation, voice fluctuations in that situation. I could easily identify when you were speaking and when your auntie was speaking. And then you called on Fahim. Toastmaster Fahim, you did an amazing job because you remained in the character. You did not turn into a boy. You remained into that character of the woman, which was really hard, but you managed to do it. And I don't know how you and DTM Sarfraz always bring in the element of flirting with the opposite sex in your speeches, but it lightens the mood. But even by doing that, in the end, you gave a very important message that these stupid questions, as Toastmaster Mariam called them, do not matter, and that we can make better decisions as well ourselves. So overall, amazing table topics given by DTM Sarfaraz and equally amazing answers given by the speakers. Back to you, Journal Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia Dishan. That was again a great speech evaluation. And I guess every speaker took something to improve and something to feel cherished about. So thank you for that. Now we are moving to the third part, and that's the facilitator's report. So for the first facilitator, we have grammarian's report. And for the grammarian report, we have Madam President Toastmaster Heba Rais Khan.
Okay. Since fellow Toastmasters, I was juggling two roles. Please excuse me, I could only hear very less. So someone said that no one can take place of my family. No one can replace my family. There were two Naveed who came in my life. There were two Naveed. Someone said there were two Naveed came in my life. There were two Naveed who came in my life. That's about it. That's what I could hear since I was juggling two roles. So sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President. Now we move to our next facilitator. Can we have the word master report from Toastmaster Fahim Razak?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, TM Vase. Word of the day was Odyssey. It was mentioned by Toastmaster Fiza in her icebreaker. Then it was mentioned by distinguished Toastmaster Sir Sarfaraz. Well, he mentioned it quite a few times. So so once again, very well done, sir. Thank you. It was also mentioned by Toastmaster Noreen. It was then mentioned by myself. And I think because DTM Sir Sarfaraz made it as his theme. So I think by extension, it was also spoken by Toastmaster Mariam and Toastmaster Noreen in their responses, although they didn't mention it, but we should give it to them just so because they took part in it. And yeah, that's about it. If somebody had mentioned it and if I had not written it down, or if I've mistaken it, please do give me a shout. With that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim Razak. Now, can we move to the R counters report? So for R counters report, we have Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. So Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, do we have you? Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, I guess, is not present right now. Yes. Okay, in the meantime, the forms link has been given in the chat box, so everybody please vote. Get the link from the chat box and please vote. For the evaluator, yeah, for the speech evaluator. Can we have the listeners report in the meantime? Toastmaster Mariam Aftab is not here, so Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, can we have the listeners report? Toastmaster Fiza, you're mute.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster Vase, for calling me. As a listener, I have made a report, and I think this is the most fun part, I guess, of the meeting, which you have to guess who spoke what without. I'm not going to mention the speaker's name, and you guys are going to guess who spoke what. So first, my listener report is selected as an intern. Who spoke it?
Toastmaster Kareem.
Selected. Yes, you're right about it. And then I have seen this picture more than one occasion. Can I repeat it?
Toastmaster Asghar.
Yes,
Toastmaster
yes,
Asghar.
yes. And then third is, to be very honest, he misses his small duck.
Toastmaster Vase.
Yes. The other word is image of a cup.
Toastmaster Imran.
My favorite espresso.
Toastmaster Nori.
Yes. Then there is a subsidized fees.
Toastmaster Rabia.
Yeah, it has to be.
Then there is if you pay attention. If you pay attention.
Toastmaster Asghar.
No, it's not that. It's Toastmaster Velram. Which toaster? Yeah, Velram.
Seems like no one paid attention to that.
Yes, you're right about that. That's it. I think that's over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toast. Thank you for the listeners report. I really liked how you jumbled up those sessions. Usually what we do in prepared speech, I think usually the convention is that we use words from the prepared speech session. So I think it was really nice how you jumbled it from the table topics and from the prepared speech session, and it was not in line. They were all jumbled up. So it was a really good job done, a job well done. So do we have Toastmaster Mariam Aftab? Do we have you? I guess we have to move without. We have to move on without the counters report, and it's completely fine to miss out our counters report. It's just like when you are eating a biryani and the elaichi strikes. So let's not get in with the elaichi and move on to the overall evaluation. Just wait a minute. Okay, so now the meeting started around 7. Okay, so here is a point to improve, that we must all show on time. That includes me too. because there were not enough speakers and everybody. So we started late. It was supposed to start on 6:30, and we started around on 7. Then coming to the main part, the speaking, the prepared speech session. The prepared speech session was really good. The icebreaker, I must say, was a really strong icebreaker. It had what I would call grip. Maybe the speaker wasn't standing, maybe the speaker was just sitting and speaking, but her words were gripping everyone. The second was Toastmaster Karim Meghani. Toastmaster Karim Meghani was like always fantastic. His humor is always on point. He always makes us laugh. Third speaker was Toastmaster Villaram. Toastmaster Villaram, a job well done. I must say it was a great speech. It was a good speech. And the fourth was Toastmaster Rabia Zishan. One thing I must say, there was problem in the agenda too. The timing of Toastmaster Rabia's speech was written 5 to 7 minutes, which was in actually 15 to 20 minutes. So that is something for us to see. And what we could do here is, when we have such, I would say, a lengthy speech in the agenda, what we can do is make sure that it's exactly at the beginning. So if we even have to do some sort of extension, so we can be flexible about it. Then coming to the table topic session, table topic session was the highlight of this meeting. Toastmaster DTM Sarfraz Nadeer, like always was flawless in his ideas and how he delivered that table topic session. The best part was it was divided into parts, and I guess almost everybody in the meeting was engaged in the table topic session, regardless they were role holders or not. So again, a great table topic speaking session, and those pictures exactly match the theme about perception, because those pictures had two sides, two faces, each picture. So a job again well done by DTM Sarfaraz, needless to say. Then we move to the evaluation session. Speech evaluation was again good. Again, I guess every speech evaluator gave a really good evaluation, but I must say there was a glitch regarding the first speaker. She couldn't see the timer, so next time we have to just, I guess the Toastmaster of the day or the timer just needs to keep this in mind, so nobody gets missed. So no speaker faces this sort of problem. On the the facilitators report part, again every report was on point. I guess we missed our counter, but it doesn't matter. It's usually a negative thing. And we must always avoid the negative thing. So overall, just wait a minute again. I'm missing something. Yes, we could just, yeah. Overall, surprisingly, we are on time. Usually the meetings end at 9:30. It's 9:03. We are on time, so all is good. All is going great. And I would also like to say that please vote. The votes are in the chat box.
Yes, please.
This
Only
is
4
from
people
my
voted
side.
so far.
Yes, please everybody vote. The link is in the chat box. Toastmaster Karim, you can also share it in the WhatsApp group. So this is from my side. Over to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vase, for conducting this wonderful session and helping me along this meeting. It was wonderful listening to you and the way you handled the meeting. Thank you so much. Along with Toastmaster Vase, my role also comes to an end. And Toastmaster Vase, before I conclude, I think we should announce the winners, right?
I guess we have to take in the president's comments. We don't have guests today, So we have to take the president
And
comments.
you have to, sorry to cut in, but TM Muzammil, you have to announce the best, vote for Big Four.
Okay. Okay, so I need to announce
Vote for Big Four.
Only for Big Four?
Yes, only for Big Four, and then you'll be handing it back to me.
Okay, okay. Okay, so Toastmaster Kareem, please, if the forms have been filled, please share the result so that I can proceed.
And still, only 4 people voted. So if you can give 1 minute to each, I'm just putting the links in the WhatsApp groups also.
Sure. Okay. 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 Till the members are casting their votes, I would like to add a few words here. I would like to conclude my role with some words. So as we all know, the theme of today's meeting was perception. So I must say that it is easy, very easy to say that the things come out completely different than how we perceive them. But I must say that it takes years and I would say a numbers of odyssey to learn this concept of perception. However, if you join the Toastmasters here with experienced speakers, you can learn all this stuff very easily. So I would in last express my gratitude to all the participants, especially DTM Sir Sarfraz and Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, who conducted, and General Evaluator was Toastmaster Vase, who conducted brilliant sessions and put in their creativity and ideas and aligned everything with the theme. So now let's move towards the vote for the Big Four.
Okay, let me share the screen. I have 3 votes. So the first is best evaluator. There are no drums rolling. Everybody can see. It's TM Fahim Razak. Best evaluator.
Okay.
Okay, and the next is okay, let me. Next is best role player. We have the listener, the young lady who shared the icebreaker today. And then the Big Four, we have the general evaluator. Congratulations, sir.
Okay, with this, I hand over the charge to Madam President, Toastmaster Varis Khan.
Okay, everyone, that was a very wonderful and very interesting meeting that we had. And since there are no guests, all are members, so I'll skip the guests. And votes, the winning votes have been announced, and so that's about it. See you next week then.
You have to announce the best speaker. And
I think best table
okay, I'm
topics
so sorry.
has not been
best
announced.
table topics. Yeah.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. The best speaker went to TM Kareem Meghani. So I had the best table topics went to TM Fahim Razak. And I guess that's about it. I think we're done. All the announcements have been made. So that's about it. So see you all next week then.
Great meeting. Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye all.
Okay, okay. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.